I'm going to be talking about why AI is struggling to make people money in this automation hypercycle. Because we all know that AI is killing it. You can just look at these projections. It's going to be a $250 billion in 2032. And that is insane. But here's the catch. I think that what is happening on NAN is actually the downfall of this whole industry. And I'm going to show you in this video why I think that is and what you can do about it. So if we look at the statistics, 80% of businesses are actually failing to integrate AI, and only 20% are actually doing it successfully. So if you see a lot of people on X or Twitter posting about NAN templates and all this jazz, that's the reason why they're failing, because they're using systems that they have to adjust to instead of using AI within the tools that they already understand and use. Right? When you attach all your time and effort to these tools, like using a new tool is actually more of a pain in the butt because you just don't know how to understand it deeply. And I think this is the reason why this number is so high, and it's going to continue to be higher if we don't do something about it. And this is a great example of what not to do, right? Both of these workflows you see are completely templates, because in NAN you can copy code, paste it, do all your credentials, and then boom, you have this working within your own business. And you can say, hey, I built this AI agent, want to learn more? And people will flood in your DMs even though it's not even yours and you just tweaked it a bit. And that's kind of scary because that is not your work, and you should not be doing that. Which is why NAN is kind of like the reason why this number is so high, is because they're using systems that the people don't even understand themselves. So what is the new move? What do we do then? So in my opinion, to really catch this $250 billion mark, we need to do something that kind of just benefits the company, rather than we coming in doing a new automation. They just have no idea how to work it, and then they ask for a refund. You do not want to have that happen, because your credibility is everything. So what you want to do is you want to audit a person's business and basically work with the people you're selling with and create a system that is so unique to them that it's going to be so hard to say no to. And this system right here is the back end, and then I have a front end which tells me that businesses want systems versus templates, right? They want something that they can actually do and play around with, to work with. It is something new and innovative. And you can do this like even better if the tools they use, and actually get all their credentials and then integrate it within their business. That would be massive, because you would just solve their problems and actually have them use tools that they understand how they automate and whatnot. And this system took me 3 weeks to build. So that's kind of the work and dedication you have to go into this. in order to really satisfy a client and to show that you're like an expert at this. So now we're gonna go into a more interesting, I think, term, which is kind of just why I'm thinking like this and why you should listen to me in the first place. So I think what I'm doing is what you call a TISM classic. And in my opinion, this is when you are just really working in a space and you just keep seeing these trends and you're like, fuck, I thought what I was doing was truly unique. Now everybody's doing it. So now the market is flooded. So what should we do? In my opinion, when everybody is doing the same thing as you are, you have to beat the competition through authenticity, which is why I'm a AI auditing expert versus a AI agent expert. Because let's be honest, like, it is way easier for a business to understand this. I was meeting with my dad who owns a business in the healthcare space, and when I said, hey, can I audit your business and really help out just, how you're using automation and etc., he was way more open to that than me building out a new entire system without him really understanding it. He rather preferred me using, the tools he's familiar with than doing something that is completely new and different. So that tells me that you have to really work with your clients in order to gain trust and actually give them something that's a TISM classic, right? Something that's so unique that they can't really say no. And then boom, you're an early adopter, you really ride this wave of $250 billion. And yeah, that's basically it. If you want to pause this and read more into this, I think that's super insightful. But, you can see this trend in people like Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, just like all these people who are hyper-focused on changing the world, and now everyone's trying to be an influencer. Now everyone is trying to be, the next PayPal and just start up. So, these people are trendsetters, and there's a lot of them. So, I hope you enjoyed this video and got a lot of value on why I think you should kill your agents and really focus on auditing. But other than that, see you in the next